Go ahead and let's get right into the freaking interview. So give us a brief description of yourself, Mike.
Hey, what's going on, Zero? My name is MikeDevore. I am a like Zero said, I am a Twitch streamer slash stand-up comic. I've been doing comedy for the last 5 years. I've been streaming on and off for the last three. I've only taken it seriously in the last 3 or 4 months. And yeah, I stream primarily Mario Maker, and I'm just trying to live my dreams, just trying to reach for my goals.
I think a lot of us are, that's for sure. And I mean, you're a comedian plus you're streaming. Like you told me before, you pretty much quit the Navy or whatever, and you're just trying to follow your dreams, and that's pretty inspiring, I think, for a lot of people. So what was it that got you into streaming?
It just looked a lot of fun. I would watch Twitch a lot. I remember when I first started watching Twitch, I was like, why would anyone watch somebody play video games? That sounds so stupid. And then I got sucked into it. And then I was watching this one streamer, and he was like, his name was Spark, or Spark Wolf. He's changed his name a couple times.
Okay, hold on. Spark. I watch Spark all the time.
Yeah, Spark.
That's really funny. Yeah, he doesn't stream that much, but he does a lot of Fortnite and stuff, or did a lot of Fortnite.
He did a lot of Fortnite, okay. Played a lot of Mario Maker, and like what he said kind of rang to me. Like he said that he was spending so much time on Twitch that he was like, might as well just stream himself. So that's kind of like how I got into streaming. I was like, yeah, I'm always on here. It'd be kind of cool to set something up. Like I've always been also like a techie guy, so I always thought like the idea of setting up, like having a stream station was kind of cool. So I wanted to build something like that. So that's how I got into it.
That's really funny. I watch Spark every time he's on. He's really good at Mario Maker. Is he why you play Mario Maker? Or
he wasn't the person that made me want to play Mario. I started watching Panga first. Like before I got into the whole Mario Maker community, I just remember seeing Panga like beat Super Mario World like on SNES blindfolded.
Yeah.
And then I followed him and saw that he was on Twitch. So that's how I started like getting into the Mario community.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah. The whole beating the game blindfolded. Poor Panga. Yeah. I mean, he got a lot of I'd say he got a lot of flack for it. But did you see what that Mike Foss guy did with his article that he wrote about him?
From my understanding,
like talking trash.
My understanding, he just like talked a lot of smack. And yeah, it's just like I felt that's kind of messed up.
Like he could have been out freaking learning a second language or tending to a garden. It's like, freaking kidding me? Like who the tends to a garden? We're not like freaking farmers out here. We're nerds.
I think it's just like the thing that sucks about that, it's like that's just one guy's ego, like trying to think that his idea of how someone should live is better than the next person's.
Yeah, that's probably the better way to look at it, I suppose.
Yeah. So, the guy was still a dick.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, do you have a favorite streamer? Or is that maybe Spark?
I do.
You can say me if you want,
Other than Zero Maverick, no, like one of I always kind of go back to watching is Dr. Disrespect. Like his production quality, it's just his character. It's just so entertaining. And like the fact that he's really good at those battle royale games, those first person shooters. It's just really fun to watch.
So that's an interesting one because you got into streaming because of Spark, which is Super Mario Maker. But one of your favorite streamers to actually watch on Twitch is a first person shooter person.
Yeah. I mean, I love those types of games. I mean, I love a lot of type of games, but it's just like the entertainment factor is like the character of Dr. Disrespect is so engaging that it just kind of draws you in.
Yeah, he's a really good actor. I guess he's considered to be a method actor, right?
Pretty much. He just dives deep into the character. I love it.
What do you think about the drama that he's caused?
With like the whole like cheating thing and like the recording in the bathroom?
So I'll say the cheating thing, that's a horrible thing to do, 100%. But I think we should try and push that away from his streaming career. So part of his streaming career, his drama would have ended up being taking a camera into the bathroom. like that kind of stuff.
You know, like you know, from like from what he described, from my understanding, it's like, you know, like when you're in the heat of the moment, you don't realize what you're doing. I don't think it was like, I don't think his intentions were bad. I think his intentions were pure. He just messed up. But the thing is, it's like, man, publicity like skyrockets you. Like any publicity is
Yeah,
good publicity. Yeah. So like it gave it like that band gave him some time to recoup and then just came back stronger than ever. He just won like what was it, the streamer of the year last night.
that's true. He did win Streamer of the Year.
Yeah.
I
So
need to
yeah.
get back to watching him. He's pretty funny. So was Mario Maker the one thing you really wanted to stream, or maybe since you watched Doctor Disrespect, were you really wanting to do first-person shooters also?
I I genuinely like when I first started streaming, like I wanted to play a game that like not necessarily I was good at, but something that I can like grow on. And Mario was just always like it was a simple concept. I played it when I was a kid. Just like, oh, it's something it's familiar to me, so that's why I started playing Mario. And then like as I got these last few months, as I like started uh stream again, I'm starting to get burnt out on Mario, so I'm trying to figure out of other ways to be creative to stream on Twitch. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, that answers it. I mean, I'm going through the same thing. Sort of burnt out on Mario. So I've been on Mario since like 2014, and that was like Super Mario World all the way to now,
Yeah.
and everything. Like I thought I could do Mario for so long, but I can definitely understand someone needing to freaking run away from it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like I think what's cool about the Mario Maker community, especially like in general, is that if you're always playing viewer levels, there's always going to be people coming to your stream. But then, like, it's like how often are you making those genuine connections with those audience members? Because a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, it's just those audience members just want you to play their level and they're going to bounce. So it's
Yeah, and that every once in a while you find people that will come in and they're really chill and they'll stick for you
oh
just
yeah,
for you.
yeah,
But yeah, you definitely have those people like, I'm gonna request my level, and it's like some freaking Bowser's falling from the sky for like 9 hours, and then they just
yeah,
leave. And
dude.
it's,
Play my level now.
yeah, pretty much all the 9-year-old levels. So how did you get good at Mario Maker? One thing that I will say, obviously I said you're good at Mario Maker, but you also went from Mario Maker all the way to the Super Nintendo ROM hacks, and you were actually pretty good at Quickie World. You were moving
Yeah,
on pretty freaking far, and there are different physics for each one, and it seemed like you were able to pick up pretty quickly on both of them.
you know what it was? It's like because I before I started streaming Mario Maker, like
Mm-hmm.
I would watch it a lot. So I got to watch Grand Pooh Bear. I'd watch Panga, watch a bunch of others, and I would see what they're like, what they can do. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, that like you can do that technique, you can do that, you can do this, and then with that knowledge, I was able to just practice. Just I was like, okay, I know I can do that. I'm just not good enough yet. Like shell
Mm-hmm.
jumps, like it took me like a long time to get comfortable with just doing shell jumps.
So
Now,
shell jumps, was that like wall shell jump or like midair shell jumps, or did
wall
you first
shell
come
jump.
in? Okay, so you came in with Mario Maker 2 and not Mario Maker 1.
Oh, Mario Maker 1. I started out with Mario Maker 1.
Okay. Okay, sorry, I'll shut up now. You can
No,
speak.
no, you're fine. No, you're fine. Like I started off with Mario Maker 1, but I wasn't streaming consecutively. It was intermittent. Like I'd
Okay.
stream for a couple weeks and stop for a few months. But like I would just like learn the mechanics and then just slowly build my skills upon that.
Okay. So that's a good way to go about it too. A lot of people they try and like just engross themselves in like the hardest stuff possible. And then when they learn the hardest stuff possible, they don't always know the like the mechanic, the basic side to it. So that's
Yeah.
probably the best way to go about it for sure.
And
So,
then
I'm sorry.
to answer your question about
Hmm.
transferring it over to the ROM hacks, like since I had the basic understandings of the Mario
Hmm.
Maker physics, I just picked up the ROM hack and just had to. There's a little learning curve to learn the physics for Super Mario World, but like
Hmm.
for the most part, I was like I was starting to get understanding of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, like we've said before, you're also a comedian and all of that fun stuff. Do you feel that Twitch helps with your comedy? Like, is it a good way for practice? Does Twitch also help maybe expand your comedy, I suppose. More people are capable of knowing, who are like Wiser, who lives freaking apparently like 20 minutes away from you. He would have never known that you're a comedian, yet he watches you on Twitch. So you sort of ended up gaining a follower on Twitch, also
Yeah.
a follower for your comedy.
Yeah, no, like it's to answer your question, I think the Twitch and stand up go hand in hand. Like Twitch, like I mean, I guess when I'm on stage, I'm a like there's comics that like that are truthful to themselves. I think I'm a more exaggerated version of myself on stage. Twitch allows me just to be so chill and mellow that like it just allows me to be, it gives me practice of just being myself on camera.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that helps that helps me understand who I am as a person, and that in return helps me like with my point of view when it comes to my writing. Like it helps me out in my stand up in that regard.
Yeah. So then that's actually a really good way to look at it. Give me a second. My freaking computer just crapped a brick, and I am hoping we're gonna be able to cut this part out in the recording.
Of course.
Um
Mistakes are sexy.
yeah. Let me
Are you on Twitch right now or?
Yes, this is currently being streamed to Twitch.
Okay.
Let me open up the document that I needed.
I'm on your channel right now. Nothing is I don't see anything.
Nothing? Okay. Well, the issue, god, this computer can go to Canada. It was something with Google Chrome. Just I just need to open up Twitch chat in the other one, and we're gonna be good. Pop out chat. Okay, there we go. That'll do. Freaking ridiculous. Okay, so to the next thing, you have some really awesome and creative like scenes within OBS. So I feel like you've sort of seen Dr. Disrespect in some regard.
Yes.
You're like, I really like this. So how he sort of like has his random garage that he walks over to for like a car, and he has his green screen. You sort of have your, I guess what looks like some comedy stand-up thing at times where people are like clapping, and you go up behind the podium and you're just like having fun.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that? Was that pretty much just, hey, I like Dr. Disrespect, I'm gonna try and come up with something? Or is that like something you've just like thought about while you're up on stage and you're like, how can I mix my comedy with my Twitch, vice versa?
Well, okay, so like I got like I mean I'm not gonna lie, I got the idea from Dr. Disrespect, but
Okay.
like when Doctor like I don't know if it was an interview he did, but or like just something that I read, but like when because what's cool about Dr. Disrespect, it's like it's not necessarily just watching someone play video games. He's putting on an entire show. Like he's
Yeah.
putting on a full on production, and like that's the mindset that I kind of have. Is like, oh, you're entertaining people for hours upon time, might as well like make it entertaining. Might as well put on some type of production. So originally, the like the my favorite scene of the background that I have is where it's like this like a assembly hall, whatever, and there's like I'm standing behind a podium, and there's like people like in shadows like cheering for me. That was like originally designed because I just wanted to create something like that. So I had to like build like layer upon layer. Like I had to add those like small parts like individually. Like I had to go out and find like a shadow group of people cheering. I had to find the sound effect of people cheering. I had to get the echo reverb to match the acoustics of the room that I was in. Like it was just all of that was just inspired from Dr. Disrespect. And then I took it a step further and just started to build other areas of my home or like outlandish parts of my home.
So like the living room or whatever with the chandelier and everything like that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, I just wanted like to switch it up. And that was another thing too. It's like I saw what Dr. Disrespect was doing, and then like I would like I watched Super Mario World, and not like no one else does that. So I'm like, it'd be kind of cool to set myself apart if I brought elements of that to the Mario Maker community.
Yeah, I can definitely see that freaking setting you apart. I haven't noticed anyone else do that. I've thought about trying to do stuff like that, but green screens are just a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
I've just decided for some reason to spend more money on the crap around me, and hopefully everything looks cool around me makes up for that.
No, like your stream setup looks really cool. So like it's really colorful. It has a pretty cool aesthetics. I respect it. I enjoy watching it.
Yeah,
I enjoy watching that face of yours.
I do have a pretty wonderful face.
Oh
So,
yeah, boy, do you.
so here's a question for you. With it, it
Mhm.
deals with Twitch and stand up. So, do you feel more nervous on Twitch, or do you feel more nervous when you're like actually on stage?
Oh,
What if you do
on
feel nervous? What do you do to like help with that?
I'm more nervous on stand up, to be honest. Like Twitch is
Okay.
so easy. Like I think because I do stand up so much that doing Twitch is like, oh, this is nothing. I could just relax and like, you know what I mean? I could just relax and be myself. With stand up, depending on what the show is, like can really like affect with me, like affect my mind. Like right now I'm in this comedy competition. It's like one of the big ones in the country. I made it to the semifinals and like it's like each night like you perform 5 times in each round, and each one of those shows it's like, all right, like am I going to make the top 5 or am I going to like be like kind of like on the bubble? And so I just kind of like hype myself up. I just talk myself out of, I tell myself it's like the only person I'm in competition with is myself. Only
Yeah.
I can beat myself. So I just talk myself out of it because like I don't know with you if you've ever experienced this, but then like especially in stand up or if you're trying to achieve anything, like there's always that self doubt, like
Yeah, of
just
course. Yeah.
creeping into your mind. So like with that, I battle that a lot. So I just have to like I spend a lot of time just like talking myself out of it.
That's definitely, I feel like that's something a lot of Twitch streamers, just even, not even Twitch streamers, just everyone deals with that in the day to day life. So,
Yeah,
um, definitely. Did I just hear a honk?
you did. Someone honking outside my house. Let me change the green screen. No.
So then, are you a techie guy, or if not, how did you learn to do everything? Maybe to become a techie guy if you are one now.
I mean, I think growing up, I just had a basic understanding of like computers. Like, I don't know like the hardcore specs of everything, but like I've always been interested in computers. I remember when I was younger, like I replaced the graphics card in my computer one time, and I was like, oh, I thought I was God.
Yeah.
uh, and so like throughout, like as I grew older, like there was just times where I was like, I want to build my own computer. I don't really know how to do it, but like I just wanted to do it just to do it.
Hmm.
So I would like I remember I built like my first computer that I built was like a streaming, like not like a streaming for like Twitch, but just like a media center streaming PC.
Okay, so
And
like media
then
server. Gotcha.
media server, yeah. And then from there I was like, I want to build a gaming PC because like PUBG came out. So I went out and like bought all these parts, and I looked up a YouTube tutorial, and it just like took it step by step and just installed the computer myself. So
Yeah.
hopefully that answers your question. Like I've always been like a techie guy. I don't know like the exact, like I don't know exactly everything that I'm doing, but like I've always just
Yeah.
been interested in this side of
Well, I feel
technology.
so. You sort of have that curiosity killed the cat mentality. Then
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
just
exactly.
curious and you want to go about it and make it work. Which, I mean, Google will teach you everything nowadays. I'm an IT guy,
Yeah,
and Google teaches me half my crap. So if I can do something and you know how to Google, you can do the same exact junk that I'm trying to do.
yeah.
So, so that's pretty cool. I never really messed with any media servers or anything like that. Was it hard for you to set up your stream? Obviously, you came from setting up like a media server and stuff like that, so you have like the same idea sort of as like streaming and stuff in that regard, but then you're sort of moving to streaming to Twitch with a gaming PC and stuff like that. So
Yeah. No, like I don't know if it was hard. I think there was like I don't think it was hard. I think like it just took a long time to do. And then like once I got the basics down, like once I like now that I know the basic and understanding, it's like really easy for me now just to set everything up. But like, I think it just took me a little longer to get everything up and running.
yeah, so I mean, you're having to deal with encoding and stuff, and dealing
Yeah,
also
like
with your upload with your internet, instead of
yeah,
just dealing with like a media server where everything's local. So there can be a
yeah,
bit of a difference there for sure.
ex- exactly. Like running into like should I use like the fucking graphics card or should I use the CPU? Dealing with the upload speed from my internet service provider. Like those are things that like that slowed me down. Just it's like, oh, what do I want to do with these situations? So
So what's your upload speed?
right now it's 4,500 kilobytes.
4,500 kilobytes. Yeah, that works. I think mine's roughly that. Mine's about 5 megabytes probably, which, yeah, that's pretty close. And you don't even really
Yeah,
need a
yeah,
megabyte. We can both stream pretty well just at 720p. And I feel like
yeah.
most people freaking probably don't watch past that. And everyone's wanting to watch on phone anyway.
Yeah,
So,
that's we had a conversation about that. It's just like yeah, everyone's on mobile, so it's like does the quality even matter? Even when I was in college, what you called I took an Amazon I was a film major, so one of my classes was on the Amazon Studios building,
mhm,
and the guy that taught the class was like head of production for Amazon Studios. Like he was the one that was responsible for getting the marvelous Miss Maisel
mhm,
onto their platform. So
yeah.
he told me like that in India, like the quality of like the equipment may not be as like great as what they use here. However, like everyone over there watches like their entertainment on their phone. So like when you're pretty much on your phone, like you don't need those like high end lens to shoot a certain show. So that's pretty much my philosophy. That's just how I look at it, the whole streaming
Mhm.
thing. It's just like I don't need the high end stuff. I just need something that looks good, so that way it'll look good.
Yeah. And that's a good way to go about it. I mean, you can always go out and you can spend a lot of money on a lot of stuff, but if you
Oh
don't
yeah,
have the
and
right
I did.
personality, like if you don't have the right personality and that kind of stuff, even though if you've spent that money, it doesn't mean people are going to come. So it almost makes
Yeah.
more sense to just try and pull people in with a little bit lesser quality type stuff. Then when you start to see people coming in with that, then you can upgrade to a lot of the newer stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
So what kind of capture
Definitely.
card do you use?
I have the HD 60s Pro.
The HD
The
60s Pro, is that like an Elgato?
Elgato, yeah. It's the one that it's the PCI Express that goes into the computer.
Ah, okay. So,
Yeah.
would you suggest that capture card? Have you had issues with that?
I've had no issues with it. I mean, like if you can afford it, and like you know what you're doing, throw it in your computer. It is so because I used to have the HD 60, the external version of it, and
Okay.
the one issue that I ran into it with is that there's like that latency issue where
Oh,
like there's like a 1.2 second delay when you do it through your USB. But like with the
yeah.
game capture itself, or with the HD 60 Pro, there's like no almost no latency. Like everything's almost
So,
instant
was that latency with audio or video?
with video, and then you had to desync the audio too. So you had to delay the audio
Okay.
like a 1.2 seconds to match up.
So you had to delay the audio because
Yeah.
the video. Okay.
And so and then so every stream that I did with that old capture card, I had to like do a test stream to make sure the audio and video was synced up.
Yeah. So then
And
what
that
was the price difference between those two?
I'm looking at it right now, and it's actually about honestly about $50. It's not bad. Like you might as well just get the high end one, the HD, the internal one, if your computer can allow it.
So then what was the price on it?
I'm looking at it right now. It's like 175 for the HD 60 Pro,
Hmm. Yeah, that's
and then
not too bad. There are definitely
yeah,
ones that cost a lot more. The Razer
yeah,
Ripsaw that I have, I think that one was 150 or 170 when it first came out. And
not
that
bad.
I don't even have a PCI Express one like you do. Both of my capture cards are actually USB.
Okay.
So one of these days, maybe I'll be able to upgrade to something good like a PCI Express one that you have. But
It's a game changer, and also like I think the second game changer was Stream Deck. Like
I
I'm so happy with this tool.
have you looked into the Stream Deck that like you can do with your phone? I think you pay like
No,
20 a year, or like it's either 20 a year or there's like some monthly fee for it, and you can basically turn your phone into a Stream Deck.
That's pretty dope. Like damn, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was actually Raphael that told me about that one, and I've been meaning to look into it, and I've just been too lazy. But one day I will look into that. So, what kind of streaming software do you use? OBS, FSplit, or
I
what do you
use
got?
OBS, not Streamlabs OBS, but just straight up OBS. It was just the first one that it was the first one that I downloaded, and I just got used to it, and I just feel stubborn. I don't feel like switching it up.
I don't blame you on that at all. What do you, if you were to move to Streamlabs, why would you move to Streamlabs?
I don't know. Like, it would have to be a good, like, unless like I was having a bunch of issues with OBS, which I don't have, like, not enough to
Mm-hmm.
like make me consider moving. Um, like it would have to be like something dramatically like that makes the stream a lot better.
I
And
mean,
but like
yeah,
my stream is going so well so now, so it's like I don't need to change. If it's not broke, why fix it?
for sure. Streamlabs provides a lot of things like extra layouts and stuff like that, but you're obviously, you know what you're doing. I feel like you probably don't need the layouts that they would try and give you anyway.
Yeah.
But one thing to note, Streamlabs will do merchandise for you. I don't know
Yeah.
if you knew that or not.
I did
So
know that. Yeah, I did know that.
that may be worth looking into. You don't need to use slobs or whatever, but you can still use them for merchandise.
Yeah.
Do you,
I'd like to get into selling merchandise eventually. Like that's something that I've been dealing with my stand up, just getting merch to sell.
for sure. I mean, friggin', you could sell that same exact merch on your Twitch. You can
Yeah.
just do it through Streamlabs. They ship everything off for you and all of that fun stuff. So you don't
Yeah.
even really have to do anything. Now they take a cut of it, but I mean,
They take a big cut of it.
but you're also able to choose how much you want the shirt or whatever it is to be. So you can still get
True.
some money out of it. But yeah, there's a little bit of a pick and choose type thing when it comes to Streamlabs.
You know what's the crazy thing is? It's like I'm such a do it yourself type of person. Like I would probably like it would make more sense for me personally to just go out and make my own merch and just sell it myself. Like have a link
Well,
and
but that ends up being more personal too, though. And I mean
yeah,
that shows that you put a lot more effort into this kind of stuff, other than just having Streamlabs do all the crap for you. There's sort of like the, I don't know. I feel like that just shows that you care more and that you're willing to put forth more effort to do something.
yeah, yeah, I agree. I concur.
What do you think about Mixer?
I like I've jumped on a couple times. I haven't streamed on Mixer before. It's not bad. Like they're just what like they're number 2 pretty much. And
Yeah.
yeah, like it's I honestly thought about switching over to Mixer for a little bit, but I'm starting to get like some type of growth here on Twitch that I'm just going to stick it out.
Yeah, it's, and what sort of really sucks is that Twitch screws you over. They don't let you stream, as if you're affiliated with them, you can't stream to multiple places at once.
Yeah.
So you could technically take advantage of Mixer and Twitch, but you can't be affiliated. If you're affiliated and you do that, you have a chance of being banned or removed from the affiliation or whatever.
Wow.
So, and the other part to it is, if you want to put something up on like YouTube after it's been streamed to Twitch, you have to wait 24 hours.
Really?
So yeah, they pretty much, they hold you to a high standard if you're going to be rocking with affiliate, but if you're partnered with Twitch, you do whatever the heck you want.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Do you think being an affiliate with Twitch was a good choice for you? I mean, because I mean, the thing that came with me was I thought that having to pay extra for taxes and crap like that on it was sort of a pain in the butt, because I felt like I didn't make enough money maybe to really warrant it. Do you think you make enough? Do you think it's worth the headache?
Well, you know what it is? It's like one, I don't like I'll be honest with you. I've only made like since like I really took it seriously, I've only made like $40. And I've yet to see that money because you have to wait a certain
Oh,
amount to
okay.
but that was just like about 3 or 4 months ago when I really started doing this. Um like to be honest, since my other source of income comes from stand-up comedy, I'm kind of used to this whole like tax thing. So
Okay.
it's I'm not too worried about it. It is what I'm honestly just having fun. I like the way I look at it. I'm having fun. If the money comes, the money will come. I'm just focusing on trusting my instincts, trusting that just trusting that I'm on the right path, even though I don't know where the fuck I'm going. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean that's sort of something I think a lot of people would like to be able to do. I think you have a lot more guts than a lot of people. You're trying to follow your dreams while there are a lot of people that are still pencil pushers hiding behind a office. I can't say hiding behind an office desk, but they're behind an office desk. It's just not wanting to take any risks or any chances because that's sort of the
They want to
safe
play it
route to
safe.
go. Yeah,
They want to play it safe.
and I don't blame them. I
Yeah,
mean,
same here.
playing it safe. That's well, it's safe. So
Well, my whole thing is, and my whole thing in life is because I went through so much in the last few years that like I realized like life is so short that what's the point of doing shit if it doesn't make you happy? Like
mhm.
yeah, the money might be good, but like if you're not happy, what's the fucking point? Like so that's just my whole thing. Like I'm just like I said, I'm also acknowledging that I'm in a very good position. It took me many years to get to where I'm at right now, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not focused on playing it safe. I'm focusing on just following my dreams, man. Just and right now, you can honestly say that I'm doing it. I stream on Twitch. I do comedy. I'm fucking living my life.
I mean that I don't know, that's just awesome. You don't get to hear that from a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, do you think YouTube is important to have if you're like a Twitch streamer or anything like that?
Or any type of content create.
Yeah, any
Yeah,
kind
I
of
do.
content creator. Do you have a
Yeah, it is.
YouTube?
I do have a YouTube. I still need more subscribers to give it a custom URL,
Okay.
but like no, I have a YouTube. I used to what I used to stream too. Like after I did Mario Maker 1, there was a period where I was streaming. I used to create animated shorts using PowerPoint.
Oh,
Like
PowerPoint. That's interesting. Okay.
yeah, like I would because that's what I did in the Navy. I created PowerPoints all day. So I got so used to like creating stuff in PowerPoint that from time to time I would just create like these cartoons.
Yeah.
And I took like that knowledge from the Navy and I decided to like create my own animated short. And I fucking did that for about 4 months straight of just creating a new cartoon every day,
Oh
and
wow.
it literally drove me to insanity. Lost my mind. But like the reason I bring that up though is because because when stuff goes viral, it's like people create content all the time, and it just takes that one thing to blow up. And then
Yeah.
if someone follows up on like, oh, this was pretty good. Like, what else does this guy had? There's like that back catalog of all the other shit that you created. So that's why I think YouTube is so important that like it allows people like to find you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so the surface area for people to find you ends up being a little bit higher. So, for instance, I suppose you have Small Ant, who's the Super Mario Odyssey runner. Uh, I guess he really blew up just off of his uh, Super Mario Odyssey speedrun tutorials.
Yeah.
If it weren't for his YouTube, he'd probably still be a small freaking Twitch streamer. Now, I'm gonna be that one guy. I'm gonna be the hipster. I'm gonna say I watched him before anyone ever watched him. I have that freaking first badge. I was one of the first 10 people to sub to him.
Nice.
But
Fuck yeah.
he was freaking. He's a real big. God, he's just he's an awesome person, and he definitely pushes people to go for their freaking dreams when it comes to Twitch and
That's dope.
YouTube and all
That's
of that
dope.
stuff. So
Yeah, like that's what I'm trying to do. I think that's what we're all like. That's how like it's kind of cool. Like that's how we fucking met each other was through Twitch. So I support the whole small stream creators. I think everyone's just trying to follow their dreams.
yeah, I mean, on Twitter you always have those people that are like support smaller streams hashtag
Yeah.
blah 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 blah, and it is one of those things where it takes a lot of luck to become a bigger streamer on Twitch. And you also have to do so much advertising, like just to
Yeah.
even be able to get out and do anything. It
Mhm.
it's almost it's sort of depressing at times because you sort of go through those like random areas of your stream where there's like 0 people and you're like,
Hmm.
is it worth continuing to stream? But then if you get hosted by someone or something like that, it sort of pulls back like that hope that sort of just like, okay, just keep freaking streaming because there's more to streaming than just freaking pulling in people. Just have fun for it. I think
Yeah.
streaming can also really ruin video games for a lot of people if streaming is all you care about. Which that was something that sort of ruined me for a while. I had to sort of fall back to the video games and remember that I'm still having a good time even if freaking there are negative
So
35 people in
so
my stream.
basically what you're saying was like that there's a time for you where you cared more about streaming than the game that you were playing.
Yes, yeah, and like whenever we were talking about Mario Maker and stuff like that, trying to go through and force yourself to play games that you really don't want to.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was one thing that really screwed with me.
Mm. How do you feel like, I mean, I know this is kind of off topic, whatever, but like how do you feel about mental health and streaming?
I think it's extremely easy to completely negate your mental health for streaming, or
Yeah,
like
I
even
agree.
even health in general. Also there for a while when I first started streaming, I completely just like I ignored everything else and I just tried putting everything into streaming, and it came to that point where I was like, yeah, you can't do that, man. Like there comes to a point where if you're not seeing any growth, you really need to just freaking put on big boy pants, whatever, and freaking move on with your life.
Yeah.
So there
That's
is,
how you felt about streaming was how I felt about stand up. Like I sank everything into stand up. Like once I left the Navy, even when I was in the Navy, I was stand up. And then what did it cost me? It cost me. I mean, it wasn't the main reason why I got divorced, but what like it was part of the reason why I got divorced. Like I seriously lost my mind earlier this year, and then yeah, like it's basically taking care of your mental health is very key, whether or not you're doing stand up or like pursuing streaming or whatever
yeah.
endeavor you wish to take part of.
And it's also something that I thought was extremely interesting was when it came to Twitch, I felt like either I never really noticed how many people actually had anxiety and depression.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just a lot of people on Twitch, Twitter, internet, YouTube, whatever it is in the freaking internet sphere, that a lot of people have mental health issues.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
a lot of people, I feel like they sort of try to fall back to the internet or maybe to video games or whatever it is to try and make them forget about it, sort of have like a different identity on the internet. Sort of, I mean, you have freaking Dr. Disrespect, who's a completely different character than who he is in real life. I could definitely
Oh
see
yeah.
someone that's a really good method actor just cut everything out and just go straight into their method acting. So,
Yeah. Man. So yeah,
what,
mental health, right?
yeah, mental health. So, what do you think about Twitch versus YouTube? Like, there's a lot of drama on both. So, you have freaking our cat eater in chief that freaking threw her cat on Twitch or what. I forget what her name is. It's probably a good thing, so I don't want to give her a platform. She also gave her cat vodka. And then you have YouTube where they're just like cutting people from trying to even be able to make any money with the adpocalypse and all of that junk.
Yeah.
Which do you think has it, I guess, better off? Would you rather be on Twitch? Would you rather be on YouTube?
That's a hard thing. Like I, I think I think there's drama wherever you go. But like to answer your question, like, I'd rather like I like having the YouTube there for my content. But like I'm not like a big pro, like I'm not like advocating my YouTube channel, if that makes sense. It's more of like
Yeah.
here's all my shit, like take it
If
or
you want to
leave
go
it.
and watch it, then feel free.
Yeah,
But
here's
at least come by my Twitch sometime or something.
yeah, like I care more about my Twitch than I do my YouTube channel. So
For sure.
and I think in hand, like they work hand in hand. Like YouTube, and also not just YouTube, but like other social media. Like if you post your content across multiple like social media platforms, like that can also help drive your Twitch. Like there was a period where when I first started streaming, I would like take some of the craziest videos for my stream and post it on my like Instagram, on my Facebook, on my Twitter. And then my friends would like, that's what drove more viewers to my Twitch because they would see the content. Oh shit. Hello?
Oh, we got some lag going on there. I don't know. Talk again?
All right. Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah, there's like some packet loss or something that happened, but everything
Oh
seems
no,
to be good
I
now.
think my thing just went to sleep. We're good now.
Okay.
No, yeah. So basically, like by posting the content on my social media, I was able to kind of like increase my viewership on Twitch for a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, trying to get your friends and stuff into your Twitch, that's a really good way to try and grow your community too, because your real friends are gonna be the ones who are gonna try and support you in the long run. So
Agreed.
That's something that I've definitely done, posted Mario Maker stuff. So the one thing it seems like everyone really loves are those really ridiculous Mario Maker levels. So to you and I, you know, like a shell jump, double shell jump, all that kind of stuff, we've put enough effort into it, so it's not the end of the world. But like there are these people that are like, how the flip do you do that? Like it blows their mind.
Exactly.
They've never seen this crap before. I mean, that's why that Fire Stick level got so big on Facebook in the first place, because they don't. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just being.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean.
Like the original Super Mario World was more made to be able to do levels like that with precision jumps and stuff like that. So they're like, how is it? How do you do that? When in reality, like the road is paved. It's not as hard as it looks, I suppose, or maybe it is as hard as it looks. Maybe I'm cocky. I don't know. I'll just shut up. But that's sort of how I always thought of that.
No, I agree with you. Like, no, that's exactly like I feel the same way. Some of the levels that I posted on my Instagram, I'm like, man, this is nothing compared to the levels that I see like Panga, Barb, like all those guys play. Like the Beast, like that, their skill level is so high that me posting my video, I'm like, oh, this is like kindergarten to them. But to people who don't really follow it, they're just like, oh my god,
they don't
great.
know any better. They really don't know any better.
So I was like, I'll take it.
So I think we sort of spoke about this already, but do you create content for YouTube along with your Twitch? Or is your YouTube maybe just strictly for like your comedy? Do you plan on putting stuff onto your YouTube?
I guess like my YouTube is its own thing. Like I don't like particularly like make content directly for my YouTube, but I guess like I'll put stuff there that I feel it's like, hey, this is kind of cool. This is what happened. Like whether it's like a Twitch video or if it's like a stand-up heckle video, like I'll just put content that is me on there, and then like there's just like a hub of stuff out there for me. Like all my Death by PowerPoints, that's what they were called, Death by PowerPoints. All those cartoons are on my YouTube channel. Like they're also on my Instagram, but like I figured might as well put them on my YouTube channel too.
So then how do you make a whole cartoon out of PowerPoint?
Very fucking hard. No, you basically what like I would like, it's pretty much like they're pretty much storyboards. So I would create each frame. I wouldn't do like 24 frames per second, but like I would like do probably 2 or 3 frames per second, and or per word or whatever, and just create the audio, create the background, create the sound effects, and just put them all together in post and just shoot them together. It got to a point where I was doing each one in like 3 to 4 hours a day.
It's pretty quick. Did you ever try doing Flash Macromedia?
No, I mean, like, you know what it was? It's like there's just one viewer that I have. His name's Effects. He'll come in from time to time, and like when I was doing those Death by PowerPoints, he kept saying like, "Dude, use Adobe Animate, and like I would piss him off because I'm like, no, I'm just doing PowerPoint because like I just did PowerPoint because it was unique to me.
It's definitely unique. It almost reminds me of those people that do like the little like sticky notepad things, like the little animations of that.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Well, the reason why I started doing that, because I was living in LA at the time, and I don't know how much time we have left, but like
we have as much time as you freaking have.
Okay, cool. When I was living in LA, when I was doing stand up down there, I attended this panel for Comedy Central, And basically what Comedy Central is looking for, they're looking for content creators, and like they are actively looking for stuff. So like because a lot of stand-up comics, they just want to get discovered and they just want to perform comedy. But for like these networks, they're like, yeah, okay, anyone can be funny, but like what can you bring to the table for us? Like what can you create for us? That's what they're looking for. So these death by PowerPoints were like that was one of the reasons why I did them, to create my own content, like to just. And another thing too, it's like I'm a fan of South Park, I'm a fan of Rick and Morty, I'm a fan of animation in general. So like basically like when they first started out, their shit sucked too. So I figured like, hey, let me get all my crappy shit out the way now, just so that way, like if once these get better, like they'll get better or whatever. Or once these shitty ones are out the way, everything will get better. So that's the main reason why I did it, was just because like, I just wanted to create my own content. I wanted to write on like animated shows. That's why I'm working on my script right now, man. Just to have something in case, like, say something blows up on my stand up, I'll have something ready to show for it.
I mean, that's smart. That's definitely a good idea when it comes to that. Huh. Well then, what's your favorite thing to watch in terms of comedy? I suppose, who's your favorite comedian? That's the way better way to say that.
Favorite comedians growing up was Chris Rock. Chris Rock was my number one. Then Dane Cook, and then Aziz Ansari.
So Aziz Ansari, he's the guy from the Parks and Rec, right?
Parks and Rec, yeah.
Okay.
His first special was fucking hilarious, man. Like what was it? An intimate evening with Aziz. And so things that I like to watch, I love watching South Park. I love watching Rick and Morty. Bob's Burgers is like a show that me and my girl, we regularly watch. Yeah, those are the stuff that comes to my mind just instinctively.
What do you think about oh Lord, why can't I think of his name? He's a little bit of a controversial comedian at the moment. He's a African American Muslim. He did the Tyrone Bigham skit.
Oh, not Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle, yes, that's who it is.
Yeah. I love Dave Chappelle, man. I thought like his specials were amazing. Like I don't give a fuck what those like PC people say. Like that shit was funny. Like his stand up was really good.
That was something I remember watching him back in high school and stuff like that. I was sort of trying to understand the humor in it. I think as I've sort of grew older, I started to see more and more humor in it.
Yeah.
He's probably one of my favorites. What about, what's that? God, I can't remember anyone's name now. The guy with the really dry humor. Yeah, he had like a bowl cut. He had a bowl cut, really dry humor.
Shit, I can't.
I can probably pull it up on here. Dry humor.
Narrows it right down for me.
I know I can freaking.
What does he look like?
Dimitri Martin. Dimitri Martin.
Dimitri Martin.
That guy's hilarious.
I got to see him live. Like he's not my favorite per se, but he's funny. Like I saw him. Like he's not one of my like people that influence me comedy wise, but I've seen him once live. And I've seen some of his Comedy Central presents, and like he's always been funny to me. So yeah, he's really good.
His comedy was just always ridiculous. The crazy stuff that he would do with he would just like play a guitar, which I think that's probably part of the reason. I'm a musician, and it looked like he was a musician too, so I could sort of relate to him and play this little melody, and he just like says these really ridiculous stuff, and it almost reminds me of like British humor to an extent. Like, did you ever listen, or I guess I can't say listen, but did you ever watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
I did not.
You haven't watched Monty Python?
No, I haven't. Like,
that's on your freaking to-do list, dude. After this, you have to watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It's on Netflix.
Is it on Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
Oh, I've seen the Holy Grail. I've never watched the show.
Oh, okay. Well, honestly, I haven't like watched the entire show. I've watched Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That is a
Bring
freaking
out your dead.
hilarious movie.
I'm not dead.
I had a guild on Guild Wars 2. We were called the Migrating Coconuts.
Oh,
And we
funny.
were one of the biggest guilds on the server. And then we ended up meeting another guild that were called the Knights of Knee. And we ended up being like, it was really funny getting the Migrating Coconuts and the Knights of Knee together and like raiding castles and stuff like that. And the
That's
PvP.
pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
It was pretty good. What about Robin Hood Men in Tights?
I enjoyed that one. That was a really, we are men, men in tights. That was a good one. I remember watching that as a kid. That was a funny one.
I watched that back in like, I don't know, I think it was high school. My sister was the one that showed me that, and that I had never watched it at the same time. Yeah, Chappelle's in it.
Yeah, Chappelle was in that one. Yeah.
Yep, that's probably one of the people that really freaking stood out to me in that entire freaking movie. Him and the one blind guy.
Yeah, yeah.
The blind guy was hilarious. Yeah, like he walks in, freaking like they steal the freaking castle or whatever, and the guy's like sitting on the toilet watching.
Yeah.
Like watching freaking like blind porn or whatever. It was super silly.
Didn't the blind guy like get in a sword fight with like a wooden mannequin?
Yeah, I think he did. And then also during the part where they're like dancing, he's like trying to figure out which way he needs to go, and the one guy like moves him, like, you need to be going this way. I don't know. Everything about that movie is just.
I should watch that again.
That's something that's worthy of being watched like over and over.
That's a good one.
Again. So, is there anyone on Twitch at the moment? I see the chat's been completely dead, which is completely different from the other ones I've done. But if you have any questions for Mike, please ask now, and he will do his best to answer.
Now.
Right, exactly now.
Bring him on. Bring on these questions.
I think we may have ended up doing this a little bit later than we really wanted to. But if we don't get any questions, it's still good. I'll make sure the crap gets uploaded to YouTube, and then I will be sending it to you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, man. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this.
I'm glad, because this is something I want to put more effort into. I enjoyed doing this. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's easier to do this, talk to people, get to know people more than freaking trying to talk about computer tech crap all the time. If like half the time people are looking at me like, dude, can you just speak English? I'm like, I swear to God, I'm speaking English.
Can you stop being a nerd for 1 second, Zero? No.
That's pretty much how it freaking goes. Let's
for
see
sure, man. No, I think I'd like to. You know, it's funny because like I wanted to start up my podcast again.
Yeah.
But like I want to do it like where I stream it online, just because like you know I have the setup for it. So this kind of inspired me. I need to pick your brain on how you set everything up.
I mean, this is the technical side to this is partially me, but a lot more of it's probably Raphael. He knows more about like the audio type side of stuff like this. Raphael also does all of the graphic artwork for L2 and even my Twitch stream in general. So you can pick my brain, and you can also pick Raphael's brain. I'm sure he'd be freaking
definitely
super
will
happy
do that.
to help you with that. Oh, come on. We'll give him a few more minutes. If no one pops in, I will let you go, and then I will start working on editing this video.
No worries at all, man. No, I really enjoyed this. This is really cool. Never, when I started out on Twitch, did I ever think I was going to get interviewed by some random Twitch viewer from Houston.
Right. Especially the one random Twitch viewer that for some reason subbed to you before he ever even followed.
I appreciate it.
That's the one thing that everyone freaking gets confused over. They're like, you've never watched me before. Why are you subbing to me? I have this thing where, which I'm probably going to start doing this more frequently, which I need to cut back on alcohol. Imagine that. Instead of spending money on alcohol, I think I'm going to start spending more money towards Twitch streamers. So the amount of money that I would put down towards on freaking beer or something like that, I'm going to go towards freaking just promoting other streamers and trying to support them as much as possible.
That's pretty dope.
And you're part of that, so.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. And I love supporting your shit too. Yeah, you have a dope setup, you have a dope stream. I think what's kind of cool is like do you interview other Twitch streamers?
So I've only interviewed one other person, and his name was the Hef.
The Hef.
Which
Ooh.
the Hef, he's worthy of following. He does a lot of first-person shooters like Destiny and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I think like you'd have a like I mean, you'll interview people that you want to interview, but I think it's really cool. Like I don't know, I've never really seen other Twitch streamers interview other Twitch streamers. That could be a really interesting podcast to get like other communities together.
And that's the plan. I want to try and merge communities, and I feel like it also gives like a really good highlight as to letting other people know that there are other Twitch streamers around.
There are? No.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of the thing. I mean, a lot of really good Twitch streamers get overshadowed by freaking Dr. Disrespect. He's really good and all the other people. But whenever you're so low down there in the viewer count and you're trying to stream a game that has thousands of viewers already, like the chances of you actually being found are really slim.
Oh yeah, agreed.
And that is true. Raphael says I interviewed Small Ant too, so I've technically interviewed 2 people before you. But I don't like to think of the Small Ant one because that was a really bad one. Okay, so he's also asking you some questions.
What's up?
He says,
shoot.
How long have you been streaming?
I've been streaming. Okay, so I think I started back in 2015, 2014, but I didn't really start taking it seriously until back in June of this year. That was due to like the last couple. I was married. I had other what the fucking word is that? Commitments. I was going through school. Now that I moved up to Seattle and I have all this free time, it's like, okay, time to get back into the passion of doing this.
Yeah.
So that hopefully that answers the question. I've been streaming officially since June.
Officially since June. Okay. Yeah, that's not an entire year, but you're getting there.
I'm getting there.
So what would you say is your most viewed game since you started streaming? Is that Mario Maker?
Mario Maker. Yeah, Mario Maker pretty much. That's I think that's universally acceptable, like or accessible. Like people, like a lot of people already know what Mario is, and it's like it's not too complicated to follow along.
And the funny thing is it sort of does almost end up getting really complicated. Whenever back in the day when we were thinking 1990 when Super Mario World first came out, it's just like it was this generic platformer. But then you're starting like speedrunners and all these Kaiser runners. They're showing a lot of people crap that they had absolutely no idea could be done within a game that seemed rather simple can instantly become complex in the heartbeat.
Yo, yeah, definitely, and that's that's the beauty of Super Mario, is that like it is as simple as it is. It's a complex thing. So yeah.
What tip would you give to a small streamer like myself? This is what RussianGhost says, who has been streaming for a maximum of 2 viewers and would like to do it, and has been doing it for only 1 year now. So I think in short, he's been streaming for 2 years or 1 year and just seems to not be growing at all.
Well, one, like I guess like you always hear the one where it's like play the games you want to play, but I don't know. It's so because I'm still like new myself. I'm still trying to figure this. I actually what I did, like as I was developing my Twitch channel, I looked up this one YouTuber, Alpha Gaming, and he put out a lot of content as to what helps like build a Twitch audience. And one of the things he says a lot is to cross promote your content across all over different social media platforms.
Yeah.
But you're not just like you're not just posting like gameplay footage of you playing. You're promoting, you're publishing and promoting the streamer, him or herself, like the character, like basically like when you watch Dr. Disrespect's YouTube channel, it's not just him. There's clips of him like dominating games, but like it's all about his personality. It's personality driven.
But
Say
he's
again?
also extremely good at video games.
And
that's
that too.
one
That
thing
too.
I think a lot of people, they seem to forget. Even if you're bad at a video game, if your personality is great, people are gonna flock to you.
Yeah, exactly. So to answer that, the original question was like create content across other multiple platforms, like that showcase your personality.
I think that's a good answer there. So he's also asking if do you stream popular games or do you just stream whatever you want to?
I don't stream games just for the sake of them being popular, but I stream. I'm starting to stream like other stuff. Like I stream myself doing writing sessions because I'm working on a script, and I feel like more productive. I like the idea of like writing on stream because it forces me to write, and I can also be entertaining. But
Yeah.
also lately, I've been trying to play PUBG. I built my computer to play PUBG, and I just suck at the game. That's why I haven't been streaming it, but I've been forcing myself to play on stream just to get better.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like when I upgraded my CPU to the i7 and everything, I've been wanting to play more shooters and stuff like that, and I'm like, do I want to play what I really want to play, or do I want to play what the viewers want to actually watch? So that's sort of that's a hard thing to deal with.
Yeah.
So how long did it take for you to get your gears, or your gears? I think we were trying to say
Like
your gear in general, such as a mic and camera and everything. Did you
I've
invest your
always
own money?
I've I've always had because I have some audio video equipment. Um be like I've always had the stuff. Because I do stand up, so like I have a video camera, I have like audio devices like a capture card, not necessarily a capture card, but I've
Yeah,
always
I
had
know
this
what you
type.
mean.
I've always had this equipment. It, Earlier this year, I had a manic episode. I was diagnosed bipolar disorder, and the funny thing about it is like one of the symptoms of
Mm-hmm.
being bipolar, or when you go through a manic episode, is you go on a spending frenzy. And fortunately for me, I bought a lot of like audio streaming equipment. So
So you went on a
I
manic frenzy, but it ended up helping you in the long run.
exactly. So like it was stuff that I needed, not just random shit. Uh Granted, like I probably have a little like a few extra equipment that I actually need, but it like I bought equipment originally. The equipment that I bought, it was supposed to be for a podcast. I was building up my podcast earlier this year, and like when I started to get back into Twitch streaming, I'm like, oh shit, I have all this equipment. I might as well just fucking use it for streaming, and that's what I did.
Well, you have a really damn good microphone, so yeah, you
I
definitely
thank you.
benefited from that.
Why? Thank you.
Okay, so Raphael says, "How did you find time between streaming and work?" But I mean, you work, but you don't work. So I'll let you answer that.
Yeah, no, I'm like I don't work. I don't have a regular job. Uh, like I don't know if I want to like. Basically, I'm a disabled veteran, so I live off that. Uh, so that gives me the free time. That's why I say I'm a very fortunate position to be able to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And with that being said, like it doesn't cover all my expenses. So like any stand-up comedy gig that I can get, like that helps pay for shit. That helps with the income too. So that freedom gives me the time. That freedom gives me the time to build what I'm trying to build, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So you just have a little bit more free time to work through and
Yeah.
work towards your dream, which
Yeah. So, like, but like with that being said, like, because like stand up is my goal. Like, I just honestly, if I had, if I had a 9 to 5 job, I would probably be just focusing on stand up because that's what I want to do.
yeah.
Uh, but like, if for some people, like most people don't do stand up. So if their goal was to do streaming, they would have to stream after those 9 to 5 hours.
Yeah.
So
So Raphael says, "I'm always busy with content creation for other people, but I can never find time to do my own." And he
is that
also,
is
how
that
do you?
his own?
Yes, this is his own thing. He says, "How would you put that into a schedule?" So I guess he's asking, like, how do you actually try and schedule something?
y- I
I mean, that's
I don't
that's
know.
a hard question.
Yeah, that is a hard question. I think because if I'm just taking the guess, like him doing the content creation, if I'm just taking that would be his full-time job, correct?
Well, he's actually an IT guy, just like me. Sadly,
Okay.
he doesn't have it as easy as I do in terms of IT. But
Okay, with that being said, like I would just like I can only like this is I have a tendency when I first started doing stand up and like when I used to do improv, I spread myself too thin when I started. Like I always said yes to everything. It took years to realize I'm like, you know what? I want to carve time for things that I want to do within comedy. So I would turn down other gigs. I think it's just a matter of like carve. You just got to carve time for yourself. Like unless like you're getting like life changing money for creating content for other creators, I would just like be like, hey, I can't do this anymore unless you get paid. And then just instead of that time invested in others, you get that time invested in yourself. That's one reason why I left the Navy was because I like when I first joined the Navy, I was so proud of being in the Navy. I busted my ass. I did a bunch of shit to get the job done. I got to my second command and I was doing the same amount of work, but I was getting no credit for it, and like the higher ups were just taking everything from it. So part of the reason I got into comedy was I was like, okay, what if I busted my ass, but I did it for myself? How far can I go? So
yeah,
that's what drove me to leave the Navy and just pursue this wild goose chase. So with that being said, I would just like I would say you'd have to find a way to carve time for yourself, maybe by declining certain other opportunities if they're not paying well. Because if they're paying some but not a lot, like I think in the long run, you may take a hit if you turn down some of those gigs, but in the long run, it'll all be worth it because you're basically building your own platform. You're basically building your own community, and I would just focus on that.
that's a really good answer for that one. So he's also saying, how do you find content to talk about while streaming? Because I mean, it's really easy to run into dead air and stuff like that. Which
Yeah.
that's definitely something I have an issue with. I'm not gonna lie. There's probably a lot of dead air on my stream. I a lot of it's because I don't know what to talk about. Another part is I'm really bad at multitasking, so
No,
I
yeah.
just keep quiet.
You know what it is? This is my secret when I stream. And I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know if you caught this, but I always like, this is just who I am as a person. I genuinely care for other people. I, I,
I'm a horrible person. I hate everyone.
I know, like, I genuinely care. Like, even like people who just drop their levels and leaves, like, I try to build a rapport with each and every person that comes through my channel.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you see this a lot, Zero. I'll ask them about their day. I'll ask them like what's going on, and then like from there, and that, like I generally just try to make a connection with each and every person that come through my channel. Um, and then like from there, like something will like I don't force any conversations. But if something pops up, if something catches my eye, if the topic of mental health gets brought up, like I'll talk about my person. I keep things very I talk a lot of personal things to connect with the audience, and that like creates some type of connection, whether or not playing their video game or playing their levels. um I don't know, that's just what I try to do. I just try to create connections with my audience,
I
with
mean
my
that's
viewers.
good because that definitely does show that you actually care about your viewers. Because I mean, there are a lot
Yeah.
of people that don't read chat, and then what was that video that I watched? It was of like some guy that wasn't even partnered on Twitch, and he somehow got into a TwitchCon panel, and he was just talking about how he thought that like his viewers were subhuman or something like that. And I
Jesus
was like
Christ.
scratching my head. I was like, how do you how do you get put on a panel like that, and how do you have viewers when I don't know. That was something that'll always blew my mind. It's just the more you actually show them that you freaking care for your viewers, I think the more people are gonna always come back.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
like the way I've
Exactly.
always thought about it is I think I hate even calling the people viewers because that pisses me off. Because I'm like
Yeah.
you, I try and go through and I try and get to know people. At that point, if they've came back twice, I pretty much consider them like my friend. Like if they've came back twice, like they actually show, hey, you know, this guy's actually pretty cool. He may be worth freaking hanging out with.
Yeah.
Wiser, I've known, I think he's almost 2 years now or some crazy crap, and he's came back. Like he's pretty much like one of my best Twitch friends at this point. And it's the same with freaking RussianGhost. Raphael over there, at least 2 years. So it's like the way I've always looked at it is to try and make friends, not viewers.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I guess I'm back. I guess I was just saying in general.
Oh yeah, I'm not trying to knock what you were saying. I was just trying to say I guess that's how I've always looked at it too.
Yeah. So, no, I agree with that 1,000%.
How do you feel about other streamers going into your channel and advertising? Like with the whole follow for follow? Like actually does that happen to you frequently?
Not necessarily follow for follow, but like if there's another I'm a big proponent for supporting other small streamers. Like if for the most part if I find out another viewer or like an audience member is a streamer, I'll give them a follow just to check them out later on. I don't really. It depends if they're a dick about it, if that makes sense.
Oh, 100%. I can definitely like if they're one of those people that just come in, they're like, "Follow me," and it's like, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I haven't had that issue, but I've had other like streamers like come in. I don't even realize that they're streamers because they just drop levels, and then like after the fact, they're like, "Oh yeah, I also stream." I'm like, "Oh fuck yeah, I'll check out your channel." And then also like hosting other small streamers helps build a rapport with other streamers. Like me, McRiot, and Metal Moose, like we're like kind of like that's my career right there. And also you too, Zero. Like just building like with other streamers, if that makes hopefully that answers the question.
I feel like that probably answered the question pretty well. And I think that's another thing a lot of people don't think about when they're trying to get into Twitch streaming is that supporting other streamers ends up supporting yourself in the long run because you're making more friends that will come over and they'll freaking hang out with you too. But it also ends up being sort of hard because if you're becoming friends with people that are consistently streaming, they don't always have the ability to come over there, but they will try and raid or host you when they get the chance.
So. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just sending a message real quick.
Oh, you're good. So then what kind of advice would you give in terms of networking with other streamers? Do you think the whole follow for follow bull crap's worth it?
I don't know. I haven't been. I think it's not just follow for follow, but you have to be involved in your community too.
Yeah,
you can't.
It's
it can't
easy
just
to
be
get lost in the follow for follow.
Yeah, like it has to be genuine. I'll be honest, like because I'll rate like another small streamer, and I'll just check them out from it, and I'll just give them a follow, and then I'll go back to their channel from time to time, and if it's like, if not necessarily, I don't mean to sound judgmental, but sometimes like because I take a lot of pride into like designing my stream and Twitch, and I feel like so if I feel like that they're not putting the time and energy into their stream, or if they're not like following chat, then it's like I guess I'll unfollow.
Yeah, and that's definitely it's actually hard to try and find other streamers too, I suppose, that try and go through and put forth the same effort. But it's also sort of hard because a lot of people, if they're really new to streaming, it's sort of hard for them to know, I guess, how much effort really needs to be put down towards trying to do Twitch and all of that stuff. And especially if they don't have the money to be able to actually try and seem like they're actually putting forth effort, even though maybe they are.
Yeah.
I've seen some people, God bless their soul, streaming on like a potato laptop. They're trying to do like Super Mario World speedruns. They're like negative 40 freaking ADP, and they're like, PB, and I'm like, I want to try and I try and support them the best I can, and I sort of feel bad for them, but
yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah.
So what's your secret, and how did you grow on Twitch? I mean, you've been growing 100%. You've been growing, going through it. At one point, I think you had like 100 viewers, and it sort of blew my mind. I'm guessing it was
That was a raid. That was a Slade
Okay.
raid. That
Okay.
funny story about that. I was getting ready to get off Twitch that day because like I had like a shitty day streaming. Like it was just like a crappy levels and just like I was just burnt out. And I was literally getting ready. I was talking to the audience. I'm like, that's the end of my stream. That's like, I'll talk to you guys later. And right when that happens, that's when Slade dropped the raid. And like, there's literally like 400 plus people just jumping into my chat. And it went by so fast that I couldn't keep up with everything. So that's another reason why I had the like those other scenes ready, because for moments like this.
Yeah.
So as soon as that happened, that gave me more energy. I switched over to the scene of like the people cheering. Like they all got a kick out of it. They all got a kick out of my different 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 scenes. So I designed those so that way when time comes, I'm ready to handle those audience members. But to answer your question, how I built up my thing, the thing that I've been doing, like I said, like every time someone new comes into my channel, I just try to make a connection with each and every one of them. And like 9 times out of 10, it's not going to happen. They just want me to play their level, and
Yeah.
that's totally fine because I get it. But then there's going to be that one person that sticks around and it's like, oh, this guy's actually pretty cool to talk to. And another thing that I do is I genuinely try to beat every level that gets thrown my way.
You you try harder than me. I'm not gonna lie. There are certain levels that I'm like, dude, I would have just thrown away and I would never freaking attempt it again. It seems like you genuinely try at least an hour per level.
About, yeah, like especially if it's a level I like. And another thing too, like because sometimes people like new streamers like new viewers show up and they drop their level and they leave. That's good for me because it's like, oh, it's one less level I have to play for them.
Yeah, it's true.
So
It's a good way to
I
look
guess
at it.
that's my the way I look at it. That's my philosophy.
So, do you ever have the fear of your viewers leaving you for another streamer because maybe that
No,
person's more intriguing or?
no, that's insecurity. I'm not insecure about that. Like I don't know, like that's the thing too. Same thing with like with comedy. Comedy doesn't owe you anything. You can put all the time into the world and get absolutely nothing out of it. Same thing with Twitch. Like the audience, like the viewers, like each and every one of them, they don't owe me anything. Like they can up. I'm just appreciative that they're even considering like considering me like to entertain them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if they up and leave, it would suck. But I don't like, if that's the case, that's the case, and I just gotta work harder.
So, tell us a little bit about your comedy side and how you merge that with your streaming. That's actually a really good question. I wish I would have thought of that.
Like so, about my comedy and how do I implement it?
Yeah. So, how do you
Uh,
implement your comedy into streaming, I suppose?
uh, it's funny. I don't like. I used to say comedian plays like for the titles. I would say comedian plays like Mario, comedian streaming on Twitch. Come say hi. The
Yeah.
problem with that though that I got was every time I got in, so like someone would be like, "Oh, be funny right now. Be funny, like entertain me right now." So I stopped doing that, and I genuinely don't do comedy like on Twitch. Like I say that I tell people I'm a comedian,
Yeah.
but I don't do I don't force it. I don't force the funny. Like and that's just my style of comedy in general. Is like I try not to be over the top. I try to let the funny come out naturally. So there'll be moments where like I'll acknowledge certain weird shit that goes on in chat.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if people ask about my stand up, that's why I have my link to my video on hand. So it's like, hey, can you tell us some jokes? I'm like, no, I don't feel like telling jokes right now to the camera, but here's a link to one of my sets. And then from there, if they enjoy it, then they enjoy it. For the most part, it's gotten positive reviews, but not every like comedy's subjective. So it's like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be everyone's cup of tea.
So, what's your favorite joke that you got for your comedy?
Favorite joke. Um, I do this. It's a fun act out. I do this pop punk bit. Like, and I've told you about this. Like, I have this
You
bit
told me
about,
a little bit about it, but I didn't get the full thing to it.
like, man, it's so weird acting it out. But basically, the premise is it's like I used to listen. Like, I'm 32 years old. I used to listen to a lot of pop punk growing up.
So
But
name the
like now,
bands.
like Blink 182, Fallout Boy. Like I would
Okay.
listen to them a lot. Now, as a 32-year-old, I don't relate to that music anymore. They sing like this and they talk about their problems.
Yeah.
And like they don't, like, like they don't have real like the other day my mom took away my cell phone because I went over the minutes this month. Why do we have to be so poor? Like they sing like that
Very whiny.
and
Yeah.
very whiny. And then like the joke is it's like I wanted to be a pop punk singer myself, but I didn't have privilege problems. I had real problems. Like
Oh.
I had to sing about my parents' divorce. Like, why did
Oh.
my dad leave us for a younger Latina? Remember that time on my birthday, you mailed me a $20 gift certificate to Toys R Us, and then my mom saw it and she ripped it up and mailed it back with a note that said, "Next time, send real money." So, like, it's a thought that counts.
Yeah.
Like, that's my favorite joke to perform because like I get to be silly. I get to like do an act out with it. So that's been one of my favorite jokes to do from time to time. And you get an exclusive. I normally don't like telling jokes like that over on chat, like online or just in person. I don't like telling jokes in person because like a
Okay.
lot of times some people are like, "Oh, okay, I get it," or they'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that wasn't funny," and it's like, "Well,
Oh, I
this
thought that
isn't."
was sort of funny. So that actually reminds me of someone on YouTube named Jared Alonji, who
Uh
does
huh.
a lot of random freaking like parody type stuff, and he has a song that is 100% probably right down your alley, making fun of pop punk.
That's funny.
Oh yeah,
That's
you should
funny.
definitely check him out. I'll send you the freaking URL to it.
Appreciate it.
It's like a 3 minute song, and it's 100% like spot on.
Like
Uh,
that, singing like that.
you know what?
For
Hold
sure.
on. Let me try and find some of the funny lyrics to it.
Just a heads up, I do gotta take off soon. I
You
gotta head
do?
over to
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut it. I don't want to take up any more of your time, but I will
Well, I
message you
appreciate
that
that.
URL. The
I appreciate that. Does
Jared
Raphael
Alonji's
have any more
funny.
questions?
He had one last question. It said, "Do you think it's important for a streamer to have a logo?"
That's a good question. Uh, I have not necessarily a logo, but I have like an avatar. I don't think it made a world of difference. Like,
Yeah.
like do my whole thing is like no matter what I do, I just trust my instinct. It may be wrong at times, it may be right, but I just go with what feels right. And for the most part, everything that I've done up until this point has worked out in my favor.
Yeah.
So just if you feel like a logo, like if you feel like a logo will make your stream look better, like then go for it. But don't like, I guess like do it because you want to do it, not because you're expecting change.
Yeah.
That like because the guy Alpha Game and Harris Heller, what's his name? He talks about like don't go to like Mixer from Twitch if you're expecting like a better result. Like do it because you want to do it. And so yeah, just do things because you feel like it's what you maybe have some people like close to you that are honest, like that'll give you honest feedback. Like I had to like get my my avatar on my Twitch channel uh like edited a couple times because like I have a few buddies and also my girlfriend. Like I show them like the early versions of it. I'm like, hey, what do you guys think of this? And they'll give me their honest feedback.
Mhm.
So like I take that information and just pass it back to the designer and just like, hey, can you make this revision? Can you make that? Can you make this? It also keeps me in check to make sure that like I'm just not being delusional, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That definitely makes sense to me. I think a lot of people get lost in the idea of having a logo anyway. But I feel like
Yeah.
in the long run, I'd rather freaking have people like recognize me for me and not like a logo.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
don't know.
I mean, your logo is really cool, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
So I guess my little logo would be the what everyone made fun of and called the Justin Bieber with the Pokeball, which I made that myself and I was really proud of it, but I'll probably be cutting that pretty soon. So yeah, I don't want to be related back to Justin Bieber, even though I had the long hair before he had the long hair. I'd like to cut that.
But he's Justin Bieber.
Yeah, sadly he's Justin Bieber, so he gets the freaking
he gets the credit for it.
Yeah, he gets the credit. All right.
Any more questions from Raphael?
Raphael says he loves his logo. You do have a good logo though. So if you have a good enough logo to be able to freaking put it out there, then I suggest doing it. I think a lot of people also try and they like open up their freaking MS Paint, and they're like, I'm gonna get a really cool logo, and it looks like it was something created by someone that had like no freaking eyes or something, and
yeah,
it sort of just gets uploaded up there. And maybe that's a little mean, but that's how I sort of feel like half the time that happens.
For sure, man. For sure. Well, hey, man, I enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun.
Dude, I enjoyed it too. Thanks for freaking hanging out. And good lord, this has been almost an hour and a half. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let you go to wherever it is you need to go next.
Perfect. Yeah, gotta go tell some dick jokes.
Dick jokes? Nice. Have fun with that, dude.
Will do. All right, man. You take care, dude. Raphael, thanks for everything.
Later. Good luck with all that.